Hello, everyone. It's Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up. It's Tuesday night at 8, so it's time for our Tuesday Live. If you're on, give me a shout out. Let me know that you're here. I have a lot of housekeeping tonight. Just a quick reminder is the 24th, right? I believe today's the 24th. So we have 6 days left in the month. So that means you have 6 days to earn your free card kit with a minimum $45 product purchase on my website. You can also purchase the class outright for $20, $5 postage if we're sending them long distance, or you can join us on, I believe it's July 8th at 3 p.m. for our in-person class to create this month's Just Cards. And you've got a few birthdays there, masculine, feminine, and kiddos, as well as a thinking of you and a sympathy card. So these are good cards. They're quick, they're easy. Most of the design is done just by using the designer series paper. So you're not putting a lot of thought or effort into creating a design, but they are really cool cards. As you can see, this one's even a fun fold, right? So nice to have these in your stash for when you need them, right? Well, hello, Miss Carol. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well tonight. And then time is running out. There are still some of the virtual album retreat kits available for you. Remember that has two 12-page or two, no, let's try it again. 12 two-page designs. You can tell I'm not a scrapbooker, right? 12 two-page designs, one for each month of the year. And you also get 4 exclusive stamp sets in there and some other goodies to help you create your projects. You do not get an album. Somebody asking you, do we get an album? No, you do not get an album, but you do get all the supplies to make the double layouts as well as the stamp sets, etc. So if you haven't thought about that, it's not too late. Want to pull that, grab that, get that. That's great. It is $250, so it's a little bit of an investment. But if you're new to scrapbooking, it's a great way to get your toes dipped into it. If you're a scrapbooker who would just like to have a monthly layout already complete, you can do that as well. And you'll get $25 in rewards back. So there you go. Plus, you'll earn my free Just Cards class when you purchase it through me. So all kinds of extra little bonuses in there for you, right? And then the other thing is the sweet sale. And I know several of you have taken advantage of that. That does end on June 30th, right? And it is buy one at full price and get another suite at 50% off. And that's the whole suite. So it would be the stamps, the dies, whatever embellishment, ribbons, or paper might be included in the suite. That whole thing, once you purchase a suite, the second one of lesser value would be the one that would be, you'd receive a 50% off. But it also counts towards parts of suites. So if you've had your eye on 2 bundles and they just happen to be part of the suites, you don't really want all the extra stuff. You just want the bundles. Buy one at 50% off, and the second one, the lower priced one, will be discounted 50% off. So this is a great time to save a little bit of money because suites tend to be in the $70 or higher range, and even bundles, a lot of them are high 40s, low 50s. So you can save, $20, $25 by grabbing those during the suite special. All right. So that is all the housekeeping we're going to do. We are playing with paper pumpkin, May's paper pumpkin to be exact. June's will be next month. We'll do June's in July. I typically do that, right? I work on them during the month. And I'm going to show you what the cards that they suggested you make look like. There's a lot of layers in this month's. And if I stand it up, hopefully you can see the depth here, right? We've got several layers. There's even vellum. This is vellum. It's already got the nice smooth cuts in it for you, right? And of course the stamp set. So this is what the stamp set looks like. You mean the world to me, for a wonderful man. I love you, best dad ever. You're the greatest. Happy Father's Day. Happy birthday. And a bunch of birds. So this, of course, was meant to be a Father's Day kit or a masculine kit. This was one of the designs that they recommended. Here's another one, again, using these pieces that were just punch outs to layer up the card and create. This one happens to be a Father's Day card. I use the birds up there in the sky. And then this one has all of the layers, vellum layers, cardstock layers, the die cut layers, and even the greeting is a die cut or a punch out, if you will, that came with the project. So if you're loving to get that three-dimensional look, you can see how that layers up, then this would have been a kit for you to grab. If you haven't tried Paper Pumpkin, I dropped the link in my description below the video. You can give it a try. You can buy it just one time, give it a try. You can get a 3-month subscription, a 6-month, and I think an annual subscription as well. The best time to buy the big subscriptions is during celebration. Just giving you that tip, which will be here before we know it. Because in just a few days, next week sometime, I believe, we're going to launch more online exclusives. And there's even some Christmas in there. Not a lot. They're saving that for the mini catalog, obviously. But there is a few Christmas items in there. We'll be doing a Christmas in July, Creativity Delivered in July. And I'm also going to do a little bit of something like a July summer camp where all my lives, with the exception of maybe one or two, will be focused on quick projects that you can create over the summer because you're out, you're about. Kits will be included in that, things that you can take along with you and create with, right? So that's what's coming in July, but let's work on my alternates. And the first one is really easy because I didn't do the layering. I just used the printed card base. So let me show you what that looks like. My fingers will work here. I'm looking at my kits and I'm going, what did I do? Here we go. So I brought in some Secret C because that is one of my 2 favorite new in colors. The other one, of course, I cannot speak tonight. I apologize. Of course, being Cloud Cover. So we're going to start with a layer of Secret C. And then I'm going to add a layer of Pecan Pie. And look at that. It's all done. Talk about easy and quick, right? When you need that easy, quick card, it's great to have some of our kits, Paper Pumpkin or some of the other kits that we have available on the website to get that done. You know, husband comes home and says, I need a birthday card for tomorrow. And you're like, I got to do dinner. I got to put kids to bed. I got to take the dog for a walk. I got to prep for work myself tomorrow. But sure, kits come to the rescue. All right, so we're going to just mount that. And then we're going to grab some Cloud Cover ribbon. And we're going to add a little accent of that onto the base here. And I don't wrap my ribbon around and tie it in the front. I know a lot of people do that, and that's awesome. I don't like tying my projects while it's on the cardstock, basically. One of the main reasons I don't do it that way. But the other way is I save this ribbon that would be across the back. I'm not wasting that, right? I'm going to anchor that ribbon down on the back. And I know you're like, well, you didn't save that much. I know, but every little bit helps. And when I'm trying to get as much out of a roll of ribbon as I can for a class, that might be the difference between number 20 and number 19, right? We've got that on. And there's no reason for me to worry about not stamping because, or mounting before I stamped, because we don't really have a choice. It's not like we can flip this over. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Hey, Betty. Thank you. All right, so for a wonderful man. And again, these are great masculine cards to have on hand. So we're just going to stamp that up there. And then I'm going to get some of the birds. I love that if you notice that cute little, I don't even know where I laid it, but they now include a sleeve so that we have a sleeve that we can put into a case. So we know what's in the stamp case for Paper Pumpkin. That's really nice. We used to try to create our own. Much easier to have them supply it. So I'm walking this stamp off if you see me doing this because photopolymer and I have gotten along wonderfully for years. And most recently, I seem to tear my stamps, especially when they're new. Um, they just don't seem to come off as easily as they did at one time. So now I walk it off just to make sure I don't accidentally tear it. And what I mean by walking it off is I get a corner of it up and then I just keep my fingers moving along with it rather than going like this and pulling it off the sheet just from that one end or one edge. So we've got some memento here and we're just going to bring the birds up like that. And then we also have a cute little 3-bird stamp. I think I did, oh no, I'm sorry, it's 3 birds, it's 4 birds, that we're gonna put on this side. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and tie that piece of cloud cover on there now. Trim off the tails. Has anybody gotten any of the new in color ribbon? I really like the width and the texture. It's not, it doesn't have to be cloud cover. Did I say cloud cover or in color, whichever? I know my in color club members have. They've gotten some of it already. But I do like that ribbon. Has good texture. And then we're just going to put happy birthday on the inside. And of course, the stamp is from the Paper Pumpkin greeting as well. So I kind of trade. So sorry, I don't know why. I haven't talked to anybody today. That's probably why. Um, that's it. That's how quick and easy that card is. And it's masculine. They don't want a lot of fussy stuff, right? So I think it's perfect. A perfect birthday card. Okay, so that's our first alternate. Pretty clean, simple. Then I mixed it up a little bit, brought the trees in on a different background than what they suggested, added a little bit of a fish-tailed die cut. And this one we're going to do with petal pink. So, yep, I know these are meant to be masculine cards. I do. But we can change them. There's nothing saying we can't. So I've got some petal pink and some Lost Lagoon. Again, I'm playing off of the colors in the pre-printed pieces that are in the kit. And you know, some days kits are the bomb because you don't want to think. You just want to make some pretty cards. And if that's you, raise your hand. Hello, it's me for sure. Some days I'm like, I just want to sit and play and not have to think too hard. I am going to go ahead and stamp my birds first this time. And I'm doing that with memento, obviously, right? And we're going to put this right about here. I'm going to do the same thing. I love that we got the little extra bird images. And I'm going to pop those over here. And I'll do another set right there. Okay. Now here, I feel like I did bring in some layers. So let me grab those out of our kit. I've had these to do for you for 2 weeks. So if you see me looking at it like, what is she doing? It's because she can't remember. She can't remember what she's doing. It's been a wild couple of weeks. I had retreat this past weekend, which was fabulous. And but I was there I went down Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't actually remember. Oh, no, I know what I'm looking for. So what I did on this one, it's not a different piece. What I did on this one is use both sides, right? So I used this side for something else, and now I'm going to use the back side, so, or vice versa. So I just cut one of the card bases in half. I was thinking there was an overlay there, but there really isn't. The trees are my overlays, and we're going to grab the dimensionals. This package had a lot of dimensionals, a big sheet of dimensionals, because we were doing so much layering up. But they always give you enough that you have plenty left over to keep crafting with. Does anybody get Paper Pumpkin that's watching? I did not get these laid down correctly. Exactly, Deborah. That's it, right? And that's what I did a couple weeks ago. I was down. Um, I had some things to do at the retreat house, but I was also meeting a friend one day, so I knew I wasn't going to have a lot of time. So I just took my kits and I used my kits, and it was wonderful because I got things done, got projects designed, and then I did bring in our die cuts, right? And I cut that banner. So we're going to use that, and we're going to grab one of those little tags that they provided in the kit. So you get all kinds of little die cuts that you can just punch out. And that's going to go over top. So we're going to mount that first. Matter of fact, I think that weekend is when I did this to get ready to share with you all. And we will pop this up for a little more depth. And the kits that they release online now, we release 2 new kits every month. I'm going to do the new blue one for you, Beautiful Blues, I think it's called, because it is gorgeous. And yeah, I can't wait to play with that one. So there's our greeting. Just by cutting those card bases in half, because they have printing on both sides, you actually can double what you get in the kit, right? So you get 3 card bases of each design, 3 different designs. So that would be 9 cards. You can actually end up making 18 cards or even more if you then cut it down even further. So there is the second alternate. We used one of the tree die cuts, which I really liked those. We used our birds and our die cut greeting. Thank you for being the person you are. I think that's an awesome greeting too. Carol gets Paper Pumpkin. Awesome. Oh, good, Deborah, you love it. I love it too. I do, I do. My only problem with it is I tend not to go back and finish them up, right? So I have all these pieces and parts and boxes sitting around. And I think I'm going to do grab bags or something for my clubs and say, get a grab bag. Okay. So this last one, I went completely rogue. I did not stay kind of in the mountainous region, if you will, but I went with the beach. How about that? It looked like sand dunes to me, right? And I apologize because when I did this, it was on last chance, but it was not gone. But I did use beach days as my die cuts. Here's my surfboard, my palm tree, all of that fun, right? And let me grab some stuff here. So basic white is going to be our card base. And then I'm bringing in Secret C again. I already punched out some circles from my layer because no one's going to see it. That's a card saving, money saving, right? That increase to card stock, I know, hit us all. So I look for opportunities to maximize where I can. Plus, that takes some weight down. And I know it seems funny, well, one die cut or a couple punches out of a layer that nobody's going to see can't make that big a difference. But guess what? It really does. So this is the card base. You saw that one earlier on one of the projects that I'm going to use. And I took this piece from the punch outs and I'm going to layer that. Now I'm not going, I could pop these up like I was doing on the actual designs from SU. I didn't on my original. What do you think? Should we pop them up or should we leave them flat? I'll let you think about that. While I pull everything else together here. Oh, my palm tree is not going to have a trunk. Where's my trunk? Where's my trunk? It was all here when I started it. Well, we might not have a trunk for our palm tree. I might have to cut another one. I don't have that stamp set here, unfortunately. All right, should I pop them or leave them flat? Leave them flat. Pop them up. Like the beachy look. Yeah, we went a totally different direction with it. I got one of each. I got one of each. Well, since we have one flat, let's try one popped up. What do you say? So we're going to bring in this one first. And I want to be careful where I put the pop dots because I need to be able to get my surfboard and my tree trunk when I get it. I even went through everything. I came home for a couple of hours yesterday and then I was back down in Gettysburg and yeah, I did not notice that tree trunk was missing because I went through the kit to make sure I'd have everything. Best laid plans. All right, let's start with that. I have to laugh because I don't know how I would get dimensional backings off. Well, I'd have to use a tool. I was gonna say without my nails. And I was a girl that did not have nails for a long, 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 long time. And then we'll pop that one up too. So we have the full effect. As a matter of fact, I think it was maybe my second party that I did after I signed up. And my one cousin who knew me when I was little or younger, she couldn't get over that I had nails. I'm like, yep, I do. Okay. So there's our layers all popped up. Of course, this is going to go on our card base. We're going to do a little bit of, oh goodness, I don't have that seashell set either, stamp set here either. I have no stamps here tonight. So pretend there's a little seashell there. That was a mistake on my part. I really thought I put that in the box, but I don't see it. So we're going to have to let that go. Okay, that's all right. We're going to go ahead and stamp happy birthday. And again, I'm staying with that secret C. The ink spot that you get in the paper pumpkin this month, or got in the paper pumpkin, was Misty Moonlight. But I really like the darker. I like the secret C. So that's what we're doing. Let's do it in the correct orientation. Okay. Using, again, the stamp that was in the kit. I just realized while I was at retreat this weekend that my mat down there is gray, like a lighter gray. And I think I'm going to bring that home and switch it out so that I don't have such a problem seeing here. So this is going to go right there. I'm going to put it on dimensionals too. Why not, right? And I'm going to pop that on right there. Now I did do the surfboard. I did have that already and cut out, but I do not have the trunk for the tree. But before we would even put that on, I'm actually going to use this to create my sun. So I'm going to grab some blending brushes and some lemon lolly. And it's lemon lolly, I think. I'm hoping. I did get sight back to see the cardstock. I still don't see the ink very well. Okay. So we're going to start with this one. And this was just a sun that I punched out. I'm actually going to grab some Post-it note tape because I need to open up another ink pad and I don't want this to shift if I can help it. And it just did shift on me. So we'll see what happens. And I'm going to grab, I think I used Timid Tiger. Let's try that. I'm gonna grab this white first so we can test it. Put some lemon lolly down. And then we'll see, bring that in. We'll see what Timid Tiger looks like on top of that. Yep, that's exactly what I used. Okay. So hopefully we're lined up here fairly well. We're not going to have a crazy looking sun. I'm going to use my cardstock there. I think it's good. I think it's good. Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect. Beachy sun, getting ready to set. The surfboard is going to go in towards the outside edge, like that. What do you think? You think I can freehand something? Oh boy. I don't know. That's never been my forte, but this shouldn't be too hard. I'm just going to bend it around. It won't look as good as the die cut, but it will serve our purpose for tonight. And then we'll go ahead and give it a little bit of adhesive. I want it to go in this way. So we're going to go, and that's going to be more than I need up the top. So we'll trim that off. Just get a little bit of tacky on there, right? And then we'll bring in our palm trees. At least they didn't run away. I don't think I could have fussy cut those. And I want to make sure I have them facing up. And there's my tom bone, like somebody took my tom bone. I'm gonna mount these. Didn't I just say I want to make sure I have the right sides up? Oh, oh. There we go. And then I got to get my little needle nose bottle filled again. And I think of it every time I'm live with you all. And then I get off and I go in to do 14 other things. And I'm like, man, next time, nope, it's not ready. It's not ready. And it wants to stick to my fingers. Oh, of course it does. And there is our palm tree. And we'll put that onto our card base. That doesn't look horrible for a trunk. We're going to pretend our little seashells are there. I'll have to add them after the fact. Okay. They do make a difference, don't they? What do you think? We'll give you the real one. So there's the one popped up. It definitely has additional depth. The card front is much heavier. So that's going to cost more as it goes into the mail. This one is flatter. I don't know which one. I wish I had the seashells because it's hard to tell which one you like better without it. But I think they're both cute, right? All right. So there you go. So those were the 3 alternates that I did for Paper Pumpkin this month. Stayed pretty true to the kit for the first 2. I'm going to bring those back in for you. This was the other one. We'll get this one out of the way. And then a real quick, easy, oh my gosh, I need a card in 5 minutes. What are we going to do? I gotcha. The other thing I did on the original was I added some birds up in that corner. So if I can find my memento, we'll go ahead and put those on too. So if you're not a Paper Pumpkin member, and you think you'd like to try a kit, I do have a link below for you to do that. You can click on that to get a kit and give it a whirl, or get a 3-month. I usually tell people to get a 3-month if they can, simply because it gives you a little bit more opportunity to see what comes. One kit might not be to your liking, the next kit might be amazing. This kit that just came for June is coordinating with one of the online exclusives that's being released in July. And I can't wait to play with it because it looks really fun. So I'm going to take that back down with me. I'll have some time tomorrow afternoon down there to do a little work. So I might try to work on that down there. Then Thursday is open craft day. And Friday I have my last Gettysburg Club. And yeah, so then I'll be home again Friday. So I plan to be live Sunday night. I say plan to because my life is insane and you just never know. But hopefully you'll join me here at 8 o'clock on Sunday night to see what I'm up to with Stampin' Up. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate you. Please share the video, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.